What's up, guys? It's Mindless again. Back with another video. I want to share a couple more pieces out of my collection. And to my surprise, I haven't really been able to find too many videos about this maker and his knives. And he's kind of one of the top guys out there and well respected as such. So I wanted to kind of do a little showcase on John Barker, rather Dr. John Barker, and his various folders. These are two Hokkaido models, and he doesn't make too many models, but of all the pieces that he does currently make, this is the piece that I absolutely love. You might have seen this particular knife in a couple of videos I've done in the past, and I'm saying, it's one of my grail, quote grail knives, because it is. This is one of the cornerstone pieces out of my collection, and I'm really lucky enough to have two. Just absolutely well-made pieces. So for those of you who don't know, John Barker is a maker out of Georgia, and he's been doing it for, I don't know, almost 10 years, just short of 10 years. He's a full-time optometrist who sees a couple hundred, hundreds of patients a week, and still finds time to make these beautiful pieces out of the basement of his home. And guys, these are handmade, beautiful tactical folders. They are, forgive the oil, like somehow the Mokutai kind of takes the oil. So let's look at the pieces real quick, and then we'll talk a little bit more about John. This one is my idea of perfection. You're looking at all tie handles, Damascus pocket clip with a Sanmai blade with an LMAX core. So I can get this to focus so you can see the details of the blade. Just a stunning blade. Recently, John has kind of delved into making his own flippers, but normally they are folders. This one's using a thumb hole, the other's using a thumb disc. And at this past Blade show, he had the prototype for his own flipper. He's done collaborations with Lee Williams using the kickstop. But these are straight John Barker Hokkaido models. And to me, these are absolutely perfect. They are just amazing pieces. They are frame locks. The lockup is perfect. Action is perfect. Just great knives. I mean, take a look at this one with where you can see the waves in the Sanmai through the speed holes. Just gorgeous. Floating backspacer. Let's get it to focus. And you can kind of see right there. Absolutely perfect tolerances. Take a look at this profile of the blade seated. Absolutely beautiful. Same with the other one. This is more dressy. This is a full Mokutai handle. Another Sanmai with LMAX core, titanium on this side, Mokutai clip. Exactly the same lockup as the other. Floating backspacer as well. Perfectly executed. So, I mean, in the last couple years, John's knives have the values have gone through the roof, and availability is just impossible. It's almost impossible to get a knife. So you kind of left either going to a collector or other collectors rather, or dealers to pick up his pieces. His books have long been closed. I mean, this guy's the real deal. I got a chance to chat with him at Blade 2015 for a good 15-20 minutes, and just a straight good guy. He is extremely intelligent, obviously, as being a doctor, but he's an ex-Marine, into CrossFit, super healthy guy. You could tell, very soft-spoken, but absolutely a joy to speak with. And one thing you kind of pick up right away when you're talking to him about his knives in particular is how picky he is about tolerances. At one point he was explaining how on the backspacer, when he's trying to measure out the spacing between the scales and the backspacer, he actually goes to the lowest number that he can on his measuring devices. So he's looking for absolute perfection, and basically told me if it's not, it won't leave his bench. And I think that's why his knives are in such demand. I mean, it's possible to get a custom that has, you know, flaws here and there. I have yet to ever hold John Barker that has any flaws. People go bonkers for his grind, and he's definitely, if you look back at the body of his work, he's into Tantos, and so am I. And he has a group of fans called the Inu, and the word Tantolicious has been coined for this tri-grind kind of Tanto. If you take a look at the grind, it is just ridiculous, stupid, beautiful. The swedge on top, let's see if we can get this to focus. It's a little difficult with the lighting to catch the sanmai, but you can see how perfectly the grinds are executed. Perfectly symmetrical. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I mean, to me, this is knife perfection. These are big knives. They're serious. These are tactical fighting knives. This is as close as I would, if you ask me, this is what a fighting knife is, and they just feel great in hand. They're nice and chunky. But again, the craftsmanship is what pushes over the top. So, John's been featured in Blade Magazine, Tactical Knife Magazine, relatively quickly after starting, making knives. Like many makers, he started making fixed blades. And believe it or not, I think the story goes that Les George actually kind of pushed him into making folders, and I am so stoked that he did, because to me, these are just absolute perfection. I mean, the action is there. Absolutely beautiful. And just, guys, if you could ever grab a Barker and play with one, or add one to your collection, I totally would do it. Absolutely gorgeous. Look at the clip even. So the way I scored these two, I actually got this one first, and I had seen on Instagram a few of these floating around, and by luck, a fellow collector that I know had one and was, looking to get rid of it. So, immediately I jumped on it, and he gave me a really fair price. So, I'm just stoked to have it in my collection. But I mean, if you take a look at it, this thing is extremely dressy. I don't want to muck it up and scratch it. I'll carry it, but, I can't see myself using this knife. So down the road, I was offered this piece, and I had to grab it. I had to grab it. So this is actually the piece that I carry when I decide to take the Barker out for a drive, and it is absolute perfection. If you take a look at the way the blade hides in there, it's very similar to like a Quakin, just blade hidden completely in the handles, perfectly ground. Check out the contouring too, just absolutely perfect. Again, the holes where you can see the sanmai etching through just takes it way over the top. Way over the top. Absolutely gorgeous. I can't get enough. Honestly, guys, I'm going to keep, anytime a Barker becomes available to me, and specifically a Hokkaido, I'm going to jump on it. I mean that. The Inu, I kind of mentioned that a little earlier in the video. It's his kind of like fan club or followers. But basically, it's not the kind of thing you can just join. Now, I own 2 Hokkaidos, and I'm still not in it. You've got to be invited by John to join that group. And all of his knives, like the name Hokkaido, the word Inu is Japanese for dog, and a Hokkaido is a type of Inu. And it's very clear that John has a love for dogs. So if you take a look at his logo, you'll see the dog barking, and that's what it is. So anytime you see that logo, you'll see the dog, or you'll see the word Tantolicious. They are referring to Dr. John Barker and his absolutely beautiful knives. Wickedly sharp blades. But look at these grinds, guys. I hope it's translating well across in video. hollow ground, and then that crazy swedge on top. Just killer, right? Look at that. You could see the metal choice from the top, from the spine, perfectly symmetrical. Jimping is very fine, frequency is high, and it's very good. Soft rub against it, you'll slide. If you bear down on it, like you get into a hammer grip and you bear down on it, you're not going anywhere. So to me, this is the perfect example of a tactical fighting folder. This is it for me. If I was forced to choose one knife to take with me, for hard use in my collection, it's probably gonna be this guy. But they just feel so good in hand. Let me check out look at how the thumb disc is flush with the spine. That's the kind of detail that a lot of makers don't really look at. Just perfectly executed. Perfectly executed. Even on the backspacer, he's using the Sanmai. You could have cheaped out there, and it's not. These are all hand contoured. John does all the milling, the heat treat, everything in his basement, guys. All the grinding, everything. And again, look at the Tanto grind on this thing. Look at the top swedge. See if I can catch the light on it. Hollow ground perfectly. Just absolutely perfect. Check out the profile from the top. Just absolutely perfect. Come on now. Focus for me a bit. There you go. And yeah, I'm kind of shocked that I don't see tons of videos. I know the knives are rare. That he has a full-time job, and whenever a maker has a full-time job, much like Brad Blunt, guys like that, they're never going to be able to push volume out of their workshop. So that's the kind of stuff that it's the perfect storm for knife collectors. These are the knives that we go bonkers for, basically. That he's a doctor. He's not going to give up that job to go become a knife maker full time unless he's getting ready to retire. But that keeps the values up. It keeps few knives in circulation, so you have that feeling of exclusivity, and it's just, that's what collectors go bonkers for. That's what we just eat that shit up. Perfect, absolutely perfect. Lockup is perfect. No stick on either knife. Perfect. Absolutely perfect knives. Yeah, if you check out his website, just search, Barker Knives, you kind of get a little bit more background story on him. Yeah, I mean, this was a knife collector, John himself, who went to Blade with a buddy who was a knife maker, and just like that, around 2007, decided to start making knives, and he makes an absolutely perfect knife. I mean, that conversation I had with him at Blade kind of really solidified his level of craftsmanship in my mind as a top guy. He's basically telling me, like, if it's not perfect, it's not leaving his workshop. And you can actually see that. He even said, he's like, Mark, take a measure and look at the spacing between the backspacer and the scales, and you'll see that they're exactly the same all the way around. And I didn't do it, but I believe the guy. It's obvious how good the work is. Unbelievably beautiful. Unbelievably beautiful. He lives a really active lifestyle. Him being a Marine in the past, I think he knows what makes a good knife and what makes a crap knife, and he delivers. I've handled about 3 other Hokkaidos other than the 2 that I own, and again, all of them were absolutely perfect, exactly like these. These are two knives that'll never leave my collection. I know that for sure. I mean, think about it. You know, he started making knives in '07, and in 2011, right around 2011 was the first folder. So we're talking about making folders for the last 4 years, 4.5 years. And this is what's come out of his workshop. This is better than guys that have been doing it for 20 years. I'm not going to name names, but the grinds, guys, are just stupid. Stupid. So wickedly sharp. Just ridiculous. Ridiculous. And even the choice of the element of the sanmai here, look at that. The patterning, etching, absolutely perfect. Wicked, wicked. They're heavy, but I carry them. So let's take a couple of quick looks before I wrap. You guys can see these two compared to each other, and you can see the grinds are slightly different on both knives. The swedge on this one comes down a little further than this one, but perfectly executed. Look, take a look at right back here where the grind begins. The lines are perfect. It's almost like a machine did it. Absolutely stunning work. Awesome pieces. Awesome pieces. I can't get enough of these things. Gorgeous pieces. So, these are the two Hokkaidos from Dr. John Barker. And I thought I'd share with you guys today. Also, I want to take a second to thank you guys for you know, all the support for my videos. The last Blade Show video recap I did, just tons of viewers, and guys, I really appreciate it. You know, when I know people are watching and all the kind comments that are coming to my channel, you know, it kind of motivates me to continue. You know, we all have busy lives, so to sit down and kind of just start rambling about knives. It's easy because I love it, but it's hard. You know, we're busy and it's tough, and now I feel like it's worth every video or every minute that I spend doing it. So I'll keep them coming. And real quick, the reason I chose to do this, you know, I was kind of torn on what knives to do next on videos. And you know what I did was I went to my Instagram account. I post pictures daily, and I just went and looked at the photos that received the most likes or most comments. And by far, the Hokkaidos were getting tons of likes, dozens and dozens of comments. So it kind of gave me a tip off, like, hey, you know what? These are two pieces that I'm sure knife collectors or knife nuts would like to see in high definition up close. So, you know, I'm going to kind of do that. If you guys see anything on my Instagram that you like or you'd like to see in video, let me know and I'll do it. I'll continue to make videos, but if you kind of guide me on which pieces in my collection you'd like to see next, it's actually easier for me. So anyway, thanks again, guys. If you have any questions at all, please leave a comment or, you know, shoot me an email and I'll try my best. I try to answer every comment. And again, thank you for stopping in and checking out these two killer pieces. Again, these are the Large Hokkaidos out of John Barker's workshop, Barker Knives. And I'll see you on the next video. Take it easy.